Some fictional stranger smooches. Remember, do not give strangers goodnight kisses. Hello, Ren. So good to see you again. Looking as creeping as ever, I see. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir de Vite, and today I'm going to play 14 Days with You again, which has gotten a little bit of an update. It's been a while since I've played this game, so if you'd like to see my very first reaction to it, it's around my channel somewhere. But before I begin, this is another game that's meant for an adult audience. That being the case, there are some scenes that I might have to cut out entirely. However, I do have an adult Patreon where I will leave that scene in, so that's nice. I don't know exactly what's changed, so I'll just go through the whole game again since it's been so long since I've played it. Oh, this is adorable! I am Espoir. Oh my gosh, that's neat. That's neat. I love that. You're in Haruko's DMs. I'm insane. We are not the same. Gorgeous. Red shaking text. I see. I can't wait to finally meet you, Angel. And in other news, the remains of yet another body has been pulled out from Lake Blue Moss, making it a total of 4 unidentifiable victims this year. Authorities believe that... Stifling a groan with the rim of my coffee cup, I fish around for the remote lodged between the cushions and turn off the TV. I wasn't about to let some morbid headline damper the start of my cheerful morning, especially considering how today was going to be my first day at work after finally getting that hard-earned promotion. I mean, sure, stacking and sorting through books at a library might not have been my dream job, or even my first choice of places to work after moving back. But the pay was nice, my co-workers were friendly, and the building was located within the perfect walking distance from my apartment. Setting my mug onto the table, I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. A notification from Moth, my online friend, pops up, so I tap on the screen to read their message. What greets me is an adorable sticker of some anime character giving a thumbs up, as well as a short message that says, "Good luck today," underneath. Moth had always been adamant about showing their endless support for me, even after 5 years of friendship, cursed memes, and crappy Wi-Fi video calls. And even though I would never admit it out loud, I was truly grateful to have someone like them in my life. Pulling up the keyboard, I begin to type a response to their message. Send back a meme with 0 context. Lol random. Without missing a beat, I open up the image gallery with practiced fingers and send back a blurry picture of a worm in a bag of chips with the word "sexy" written in glitter font. Not even 5 seconds pass before Moth quips back with a response of their own, this time sending their own cryptic meme of a frog sitting on a slice of bread. Is that butter? Before I can ask, a gray chat bubble pops up once more, indicating that Moth was still typing another message. By the way, didn't you say that last night that you were gonna head to work at 8 a.m? 'Cause it's like... almost 9:30 where you are right now, right? Or am I just dumb and got the time zones mixed up again? Lol. Looking at the time displayed on my phone, I immediately let out a string of curses and leapt to my feet. Crap! Mailed! Grabbing the coat that I had carelessly strewn across the back of the sofa earlier, I quickly shrug it on before making a beeline towards the front door. Before I leave, however, I spare myself one final glance in the poorly hung mirror in the hallway. Hopefully the outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. What style did you go for? Comfy. Yeah, always good to be comfortable. Oh please, climbing shelves and carrying stacks of books while wearing something stiff and uncomfortable? Yeah, no thanks. I pull up the sleeves of my sweater down to smooth out all the folds and give myself an appreciative nod in the mirror. My neighbor, Violet, practically beams at me while she fishes through her pockets for her own apartment key. Resting on her hip was yet another potted plant, and I found myself wondering where she was going to put it this time. I was almost entirely convinced that her whole apartment had been turned into a greenhouse at this point, considering how her balcony was practically filled to the brim with different kinds of plants, greenery, and other various kinds of flora. Love the shoes, by the way. Her voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I notice how the growing smile on her face doesn't seem to falter. Yeah, what kind of plant you got? What kind of plant is that? Oh, this? It may or may not be another plant I impulsively bought from work. Isn't she beautiful? She briefly pulls away from her lock to gently pat the succulent plant. The look on her face is soft now, and I couldn't help but stare. Oh, I almost forgot. I have been meaning to ask you this, but when were you going to tell me that you were seeing someone? Huh? A knowing look pulls at her features as Violet continues to fiddle with the lock on her door. What are you talking about? Come on. Don't act like you didn't have a guy over last night. I saw him leaving when I took Kathy out for a walk. I'd be more worried about my neighbor taking her plants. Named plants, out on a walk at night, but the thought of someone leaving my apartment seemed to set off way more alarm bells. I gave Violet a concerned look, and she picks up on it almost immediately. Oh, you don't remember? Don't tell me you were drunk or something. With a huff, she gives up on trying to unlock her door. It seems as though we both shared the same problem with our apartment locks, and places her potted plant on the ground before slowly making her way towards me. Tall guy, wearing a dark slasher hoodie, probably into either alt-fashion or bondage with the crazy amount of belts and loops wrapped around his leg. No. Last night I was just catching up on some TV shows and talking with my friend. No one came here. Even if they did, I would have heard them. My place isn't really that big anyway. Really? But I was so sure it was your door. A hand rests on her cheek in a thinking manner before she pouts up at me, seemingly giving in, for now. Well, all right then. Maybe it was somebody else's apartment. I mean, it's always so dark in these hallways at night. Honestly, what is our landlord doing? Would you mind if I check in with security downstairs? It'd give me some peace of mind. Yeah, that's fine. All right then. Thank you, Espoir. Well, I've got some plants to water and some MMOs to raid in, so... The smell of old paper, coffee, and soft incense floods my senses as I step through the library's glass doors. The melodic chimes alert the woman at the reception desk of my arrival, and I watch as she tucks a strand of stray blonde hair behind her ear as she turns around to greet me. Ah, I forgot about her. She's so pretty. Oh. She looks surprised for some reason, before her expression morphs into a soft smile, and she beckons me closer with a nod of her head. Eleanor is one of my co-workers here at Corland Bay Library, and one of the very few people here who actually gets the work done. And although she's notorious for being rather scatterbrained, she more than makes up for it with her caring and doting attitude towards everyone. But her nurturing personality can get rather overbearing at times, and I often find myself having to step away to get some breathing room. Looks like he's back again. Eleanor gives a soft chuckle as she inclines her head in the direction of the person she was talking about. You know, that new guy? I don't know when he started showing up here in the bay, but he always comes in and rents out the books you recommend on the display window. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say he has a little crush on you. Especially with that outfit. You look amazing. So I can't really fault him for staring. Because he was staring. A lot. Cute. Snorting, I push Eleanor's office chair so that she's facing the other way and focus my attention back to the papers in front of me. I might need to buy a stronger lock on my way home from work. Maybe even some kind of alarm system. But would the stores still be open by then? All of a sudden, I get pulled backwards as Eleanor playfully wheels my chair around and leans over my shoulder to softly speak into my ear. Would you look at that? Loverboy in aisle 8 needs some help, it seems. She nods in the direction of the red light flashing above the bookshelves, signaling to the staff that someone in that row needs assistance. With a sigh, I reluctantly stand up and make my way over. I already knew for a fact that Eleanor wasn't going to go help them herself, so I begrudgingly began to make my way towards aisle 8 alone. Ducking around the corner and into the aisle, I was immediately met with a broad backside that was covered by what had to be the comfiest looking cardigan I'd ever seen. The person whom it belonged to, however, hadn't seemed to notice me yet, so I awkwardly cleared my throat and absent-mindedly shifted my weight from one foot to the other. Oh. Oh, Ren, how I've missed you. Seeing your pretty pink hair. He seemed to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately, I was taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes, and imposing height. So this was the guy who had always rented out my recommended books on the display window, huh? He definitely fit the aesthetic of a cozy literature lover needing a good book. Almost as if he planned that. His pink hair also reminded me of Haruko, an anime character I had recently been obsessing over with Moth during our late-night video calls. In fact, even the overall cut and style appeared vaguely similar to his. But then again, this hairstyle could have been trending right now or something, and I just so happened to be the last one to know about it. But now that I really had a good look at the man, which proved difficult considering his towering height, this stranger also seemed to bear a near-picture-perfect resemblance to the main lead from the webtoon I was reading. It was called Always With You, and it revolved around the main character meeting the love of her life at a library where they both... As if noticing my spaced-out look, the stranger absent-mindedly scratches at his jaw while he waits for me to snap out of my thoughts. In fact, I had been so distracted that I didn't even realize that he had been muttering quietly to himself. I knew you preferred softer-looking clothing. I made the right choice with this outfit. What was that? Sorry. I hope I'm not bothering you. I was just looking for, His voice pulls me back to the present, and I hastily try to make sense of what was spilling from his cherry-tinted lips. Watching him struggle with his words would have made an apathetic person feel bad, so I offer him a reassuring smile in return and an encouraging nod of my head. After that, he takes a steady inhale of air before trying again. I need some help. I'm looking for a specific book, you see, but... And now he's playing with the ends of his sleeves. I felt a sudden urge to reach out and stop him. Did I find that action annoying, endearing, relatable? Who knows? But instead, I held back and waited for him to find the words to speak. But, wow, even his mannerisms were eerily similar to Haruko's. The endearing awkwardness, the subtle sleeve-tugging, gave me a sense of déjà vu. And it honestly felt like he walked straight out of an anime and into this very library. Man, Moth is gonna freak when I tell them about this later. The stranger in front of me takes in another shaky inhale before he tries to speak once more, this time with a lot more confidence in his tone and a fire in his eye. Do you have any books on native flora? The best I found are on generic wildlife, but nothing about Corland-based plants. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong aisle. He was looking for a book about the native flora. Perhaps I should introduce him to Violet. Chuckling to myself at the thought, I stepped closer to the tall man and began scanning the contents of the shelf beside him. He almost seemed to flinch at the sudden closeness between us, but showed no sign of moving away. In fact, he seemed to almost lean closer and incline his head towards mine. And had I not been too preoccupied with finding that book, I would have noticed how his breath hitches in his throat as my scent floods his senses. No, you're definitely in the right aisle. These kinds of books are just more hidden, I guess. I step past him this time and make my way over to the lower part of the shelves. Absent-mindedly, I run a finger across the spines of each book until I come into contact with one book in particular. Then, bending over slightly, I pulled the book from the shelf and gave the cover a once-over before offering it to the man behind me. Is this what you're looking for? Too preoccupied with the misplaced book on the bookshelf, who brings cookbooks to the nature aisle, I barely notice how his blue eyes hungrily trail across my form before landing on the book held out in my outstretched hand. With shaky fingers, he reaches out and takes it from me. I watch as he flips through a few pages to take in some information before finally settling on the book with an affirmative nod. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. I'm glad. You're like an angel sent down from heaven or something. You're so helpful and kind, too. What? What? Oh, I didn't... Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. Ugh, that must have been so weird. I'm so sorry. He looked as though he was about to cry now, so I hastily threw up my hands in a comforting manner and shot him a reassuring smile. Hey, it's fine. No need to freak out. I wasn't expecting someone to say that about me is all. Really? Well, I think it's true for what it's worth. You really are like an angel. Thanks. Figuring that was my cue to leave before things got awkward, I gave him one last friendly smile and subtly glanced towards the front desk, but the eccentric man shows no signs of moving. Instead, he just looked down at me expectantly. Awkwardly, I cleared my throat for what had to be the millionth time today, and gestured vaguely to the reception desk behind me. Well, if you need any more help, I should... Oh? This is just getting weird now. Should I even attempt to continue this conversation or just leave? I mean, it would seem rude to just walk away abruptly, especially considering how he's, apparently, a regular patron in the library I worked at. But he wasn't making any much of an effort either, so what should I do? Just consult the insane person playing the game. Keep talking to him. See what he has to say. So, do you come here often? Seriously, Espoir? That's the best you could come up with? Dang it! Now he probably thinks I'm the weird one. Yes, actually. I like visiting whenever I have some free time. Although I usually end up coming here just to hide away in a corner somewhere and look at you. You're just gonna say that out loud? You're just gonna... Your book collection. Yeah, your book collection. Totally not staring at you. Just you have a lot of interesting books here. Lots and lots of books. Yeah. I mean, it is a library after all. But sure, whatever you say, Mr. Actually, now that I think about it, you haven't told me your name yet. Oh, I guess you're right. You can call me... Redacted? Why is his name Redacted? Why are you redacted? It was like he said something, but his voice was delayed. Was that even his voice? Was he speaking English? It almost felt like something that came out of a dream. How did you do that? Do what? Anyways, you can just call me Ren, if you'd like. Is it alright if I call you Espoir? Although, Angel does suit you just as well, in my personal opinion at least. Seriously, what the heck just happened? Was I just imagining things? And was he really flirting with me right now? Are you okay? Yeah, I think. But how did you know my name? I don't remember telling you. Silly. It's on your name tag. As if to prove a point, Ren reaches out to gently flick the name tag that I somehow forgot that I had put on this morning. Oh. Espoir is a cute name, though. And it's really, really fun to say, especially over and over again. Right. Anyways. So are you busy later? I'd love to thank you for helping me find this book. Seriously, what was up with this guy? One minute he's shy and the next he's bold. It was almost like he was putting up several fronts to see which one I'd respond to better. The joke's on him, though, because I found all of his fronts equally as headache-inducing. Actually, I'll be busy this afternoon. I need to buy a new lock for my apartment. A new lock? That doesn't sound good. Can I ask why? I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell him. I mean, what was he going to do? Personally show up at my doorstep and test the new lock himself? Apparently someone broke into my apartment last night, and I didn't notice. I don't think they stole anything, but still, it's creepy. I figured it better be safe than sorry, you know? I figured it's better to be safe than sorry, you know? Yeah, but It sounds like instead of a lock, you just need to jump the scumbag when they least expect it and beat him up to teach him a lesson. Stay up all night if you have to. Really get the edge on him. I couldn't help but let out a genuine chuckle at his suggestion. If I had to choose, then this would have had to be the side of him I would have preferred. He seemed at ease, and his words weren't as forced or awkward. Aww. Yeah, and who's gonna be the one to beat the guy up at 3 a.m.? Because last I checked, I'm not really the type to go around throwing punches at people I don't know, and definitely not before the sun is up and shining. I could do it for you. You? But, I mean, we don't even know each other that well, and... That's fine. I could tell you all about myself on the walk there. My whole life story and everything. Where I was born, the school I went to, how many cute librarians I've met. Which happens to be one so far. Before I could even comment on his sudden confidence, Ren seems to pick up on my discomfort at his choice of words, if it even was discomfort that I was feeling, and hastily backtracks. Hey, or not, I was just messing around. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. There it was again, that subtle shift in his personality, but now that he mentioned it, would it really hurt to invite him to my place for the night? He definitely looked like he could handle himself in a fight, his contrasting outfit aside, so maybe it wasn't so bad an idea. Alright, I'll invite him over later, because you don't want to invite a stranger over to your house. Some shenanigans might occur. Sorry, I just don't know you well enough for that. No, I totally get it. I don't know why I suggested that in the first place. Great, now it's back to being awkward again. Well, anyways... Where is she? There you are. Ren's face. Someone at the front desk is looking for you, and... Oh, sorry. Are you busy right now? I can... Impeccable timing, as always, Eleanor. No, it's fine. I think everything is already handled here, right? I give the two of them a soft smile before making my way towards the reception desk, but as I pass by Eleanor, I gently clasp a hand on her shoulder and shoot her a playful look of my own. If you need more help, I'm sure Eleanor here can assist you. She loves helping others, right? And as I turn to leave, I barely miss the way Ren's eyes zone in on my hand resting on Eleanor's shoulder. Hours seem to pass by in a blur, and soon enough I find myself resting up in the employees' lounge. My mind drifts back to the guy from earlier, and I couldn't help but wonder what happened to him afterwards. Did he rent out the book I offered? What about my recommended novel of the week? Ren surely was strange, to say the least, but I had to admit that he did seem kind of cute with his oversized cardigan and timid demeanor. He still gave me off-putting vibes, though, especially with his ever-changing personality, and if I had to be completely honest, that shy and timid persona that he displayed felt rather forced to me. It was almost as if he saw it on TV or something and wanted to try it out himself, and I just happened to be one of his first victims, but who was I to call him out for it? That was his business if he wanted to act all shy and demure. Oh, hello, new person! With great hair and lovely eyes. Espoir, everything all right? It's not often I find you in here at this time. Conan, my boss, startles me as he suddenly appears in the entranceway. Everyone saw him as some kind of a blessing to this institution, because the moment he showed up, all forms of trouble seemed to disappear overnight. Those low-life teens started causing chaos everywhere, and the rumored gangs became few and far between. At first, I thought that he might have been linked with these criminals because of his intimidating gaze and facial scars, but then I got to know him better and found out that he held a massive soft spot for those dear to him. Though, much like Eleanor, Conan felt more like a father figure with how much he fretted over his staff and their well-being. Aww. I mean, he literally installed a new air conditioner and water dispenser last week because one of his employees fainted due to heat stroke. Oh boy. It wasn't anything too major, but it was nice to know that our boss was considerate enough about the people he hired. I doubt I could say the same about my old job in the city. Conan was also nice to chat to whenever I went on my breaks, and would always encourage me to take as much time as I needed before I returned to my desk. But after realizing that I had, once again, been spacing out, I pulled myself away from my thoughts and turned to offer my boss an acknowledging smile. "Yeah, I'm fine, just taking a short break. I'll be back out there soon." "Take as long as you need. Don't overwork yourself." He seems hesitant to leave, if the way he was shifting from one foot to the other was any indication. He shoots me a concerned look before opening his mouth, only to close it once more in contemplation. "Have you seen Eleanor? I asked her to come see me regarding the unsorted novels in the storeroom, but she's yet to show up." "Eleanor? Last I saw her, she was talking to one of our patrons in aisle 8. Maybe she's still there." I'll have to check again then. Thank you." And with that, he disappeared just as quietly as he came. But that was odd. It wasn't like Eleanor to suddenly go missing. Was she still occupied with Ren? It had been a while, so I figured she would have finished helping him and left by now. Oh well, I'm sure she'll turn up sooner or later. Ren didn't seem much like a talkative person anyway. "Ren, you better not have hurt a blonde hair on Eleanor's head?" Geez, why did my thoughts keep returning to that eccentric man? Deciding that I wasn't going to waste my time thinking about any more pink-haired guys, my beloved Haruko aside, I got up from the lounge and meandered my way back towards the front desk again. But once I arrived, I immediately noticed that my chatty coworker was still nowhere to be found. It was just like my boss had said. Eleanor wasn't anywhere to be seen, and it wasn't like her to leave the reception desk unattended for so long. Maybe she managed to knock over a pile of books again and was busy cleaning it up. It certainly wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for her. Well, whatever. I'm sure she'll turn up again soon. Hopefully not in pieces. The impact from me plopping down into my office chair causes some papers around me to rustle, and a bright pink sticky note fluttering around captures my attention. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peel the folded note off my computer screen and read it. "You can throw this away if you want." Unfolding it, it read the following: XX, XXX, XXX, XXX. That stuttering guy from aisle 8. Heart. Did Ren leave this note? And was that his number? I had to admit, he really was a persistent fellow. And before I could allow Eleanor the chance to manifest behind me and to tease me to kingdom come, I pocket the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. While walking home from work, I couldn't shake off the feeling of someone watching me from behind, yet every time I turned around, no one was there. It felt like a pair of eyes were on me and watching my every move, which was strange, considering how I'd never noticed this when I first started walking to and from my workplace. Maybe I was just imagining things, or maybe I was just too tired. Rolling my eyes at my own paranoia, I continue on my walk, but I didn't make it that far before. "Ma! Espoir! Ah! Oh no, cute boys falling out of the trees! They're everywhere! Heyo!" I could recognize those boisterous voices anywhere. The first one belonged to Jae-hyun, a guy I met during my early days at university. He sat next to me during the first few days of orientation, and even offered to lend me his phone charger when my battery started to run out. He's a fun guy to be around, though his extroverted and energetic personality was often hard to keep up with. But Leon, the other guy, awkwardly hanging off of Jay's arm, was a different story. We'd practically known each other ever since we were babies, but he moved away from Corlin Bay when we were still in elementary school. Oh. I wasn't sure when he moved back to the Bay, but it was great knowing I'd be able to see him again. I just wished I could find the time to hang out with him just like we used to, but I was always busy with work and he was always busy playing volleyball and taking care of his sick mother in the hospital. Before I knew it, I was being pulled out of my thoughts by Jay's bubbly laughter. "Hey! Still with us?" "Hey, Espoir. Finally finished with work?" We were just about to head over to Club Shoreline. Do you want to come? I'm sure Leon wouldn't mind paying for you as well. Oi, I don't mind paying for her. But who said anything about paying for you? I did, just now. Thanks, Leon, you're the best. I don't miss the way Leon rolls his eyes at Jay's antics before settling his gaze on me once more. Do you want to tag along? I really don't mind paying if you do. I want to wear everything he's wearing. That looks so comfy. Sorry, guys. As much as I'd love to, I'm kind of drained from work. Maybe another time, though. Hey, no worries, Dar. Just make sure you take it easy when you get home, yeah? He shoots me a considerate smile before throwing an arm over Jay's shoulders. Well then, if you'll excuse us, I gotta find a way to get this knucklehead to cover his own entry fees. We can all catch up another time, okay? I watch as they both throw a carefree wave over their shoulders as they both head off in the direction of the nightclub a few blocks down the street. It was nice to see them again, especially since I had been so occupied with moving back home and settling in. It didn't feel like that long, but 2 months was a long time, and I somehow didn't find a single chance to hang out with either of them yet. Oh well, there's always next time. Hopefully. Putting those thoughts to rest, I start making my way back home once more. Back at home, the sounds of my microwave meal and the television filled the silence as I told Moth about my day. Like always, their webcam is pointed towards the ceiling, with only half of their face in the frame, but I knew it was probably because they hadn't cleaned their room in a while. At that thought, I glanced towards the growing pile of laundry in my basket and made a mental note to take care of that on my next day off. But now that I was looking at it, when did I leave it looking so messy, and since when did I put my underwear on top? Hello, Earth to Espoir. You good? Sorry, what were you talking about? I was asking you about that dude from earlier. Like, I seriously can't believe he gave you his number. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Yeah, no crap. My guy literally couldn't even stutter out a complete sentence, yet he was able to shoot his shot like that? Man, maybe his really is big. Oh my god, Moth. What? I'm just saying, but you'll let me know, right? If his is big. I'm hanging up on you. Okay, I'm just kidding. But for real, though, did you text him back yet? No. I thought you were supposed to make them wait a day or something. I don't want to seem too eager. So, you're saying you're eager. Attention, everyone! She's eager as heck! And for a guy who doesn't even know how to grow a backbone! Oh my god, I'm not saying anything, but your neighbors will if you keep shouting like that. Yeah, okay. Look, if it were me, I'd text him back as soon as possible. Maybe even give him a call instead if his voice was as submissive and breedable as you said it was. I literally never said that. If that's what you want to believe. Dang it. Their laughter was contagious. Why are you still talking to me anyway? Go call up your precious little Haruko 2.0. I got some webtoons I need to catch up on anyway. Oh, speaking of webtoons, did you read the latest chapter for Always Alright, I'm hanging up now. See ya, Espoir. With a sigh, I watched the green call button turn red. Moth had always been terrible towards my impulse control, but I adored them either way. Spinning around in my chair, I glanced over at my phone charging on the nightstand and decided to listen to Moth's words after all. Plopping onto my bed, I scoop my phone up and unlock it. I navigate the Messages app easily and open up a new contact to enter Ren's details. Moments seemed to pass as I blankly stared at his number on the screen, and before I could let myself stall any longer, I finally decide on what I should do. Yeah, let's call him. Deciding to give Ren a call instead, I tap on his contact info and press the green button without a second thought. Silently hoping that he'd still be awake at this time, I bring my phone closer to my ear and listen to the dial tone. Ren, that better not have been the sound of you running away from my front door as your phone is ringing. It barely rings 3 times before he picks up, and he seems almost flustered and out of breath. Hello? This is Espoir, right? Sorry, I know it's late. No, it's fine. I'm usually still awake at this time anyway. I usually like to watch some things before I fall asleep. What sort of things? What sort of things you watching? Sometimes it keeps me up until the morning, but I don't really mind. I feel at ease when I get to look at stuff. You're not doing a very good job of hiding it, Ren. Come on now, control yourself. Oh, really? Like movies or something? What do you normally like to watch? Maybe I've seen it. Movies? Why would I? Oh, yeah. It's some niche film you might not have heard about. Maybe we could watch it together sometime. Sorry, I made it awkward again, didn't I? It's okay, don't worry about it. He's really been apologizing a lot today. I almost feel bad for him. That's exactly what he wants. Actually, I'm surprised you called. I honestly expected you to throw away my note, to be honest. I hope you didn't find it creepy or anything. Your workmate seemed like the type to tease you if I handed it to her instead, so I figured that leaving it on your desktop would have been the wiser choice. But then I was worried she might come back and find it before you did, so I considered putting it in your bag instead, but then I thought, I guess I'm rambling now, aren't I? Sorry. Anyway, I also wanted to know if you were free tomorrow. I still wanted to thank you for helping me find that book. Oh? Was he asking me out on a date? Or was I reading too deep into his words? He must have taken my silence as confusion, however, as he immediately begins to backtrack on his words. I guess I'm asking you out on a date. We could go visit the pier or the beach or this cafe I know. Honestly, we could do whatever you'd like. I don't mind at all. Well, so he wanted to go on a date. Well, it wasn't like I had anything planned for tomorrow. It was my day off, after all. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Besides, I can't even remember the last time I went out with someone, let alone a date. Yeah, maybe going on a date with him wouldn't be such a bad idea. Besides, Ren didn't seem that bad of a guy. I could even use this as an opportunity to get to know him better. He certainly seemed interesting. Sure, why not? It sounds like it'd be fun, and I haven't visited the pier in a while. You really want to go on a date? I mean, yeah, cool. Would it be alright if I pick you up around 11 then? Yeah, sure. Wow, he really seemed eager. I hope I didn't make the wrong choice by agreeing to this. Alright then, yeah, great. He was perhaps a bit too eager. Anyways, it's getting late now, isn't it? I'm sure I've already taken up too much of your time. I'll let you go to sleep then. Okay then. Good night. Good night. He sounds almost chipper at the sound of my voice, but I decide against questioning it. He really was a rather eccentric person. Can I still call you tomorrow, Espoir? Or no, never mind. Good night. He hangs up before I can even respond. Placing my phone on the nightstand, I begin to slip into my bed and pull the covers over my body. A beat passes before Ren's soft, breathy voice enters my mind, and I slowly find myself getting lulled to sleep with it. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what you have planned for us tomorrow. So what if I wait until tomorrow instead of calling him? Putting my phone down, I decided to stick to what I know best and just text him in the morning instead. I climb into bed with the thought of the supposed intruder still heavy on my mind, but I eventually put it to rest by remembering the heavy-duty lock I bought and installed earlier. There's no way anyone could break in now, and even if they did, I could rely on my neighbor to hear. Often, I'd hear Violet gaming away on her computer until the early hours of the morning, so I felt safe knowing that she'd be around if something went wrong. Even if I couldn't hear her right now. Oh well, I'm sure everyone takes gaming breaks every so often. Snuggling deeper into the warmth of my blankets, my eyes begin to feel heavy as I slowly lulled myself into dreamland. Because of this, I failed to notice the sounds of soft footsteps creeping down the hallway. Unknown. Error. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. I used to know what this said. I don't remember. Ren. There we go. Don't worry, Espoir. I won't let you get my bad ending. Wait, I wasn't trying to get the bad ending. No! Don't do this to me! So don't hide from me. Why are you hiding from me? I won't hurt you, so don't be scared. Don't you realize that we're meant to be together? I love you, Espoir. I love you so much. Oops, I blinked. I remember that from last time, sir. How dare you? I wasn't trying to get the bad ending. I was just gonna text you tomorrow. Why you do that to me? Why are you all glitchy? Stop it. The eccentric man seems almost hesitant for a moment, before his hand shoots out for a handshake. Most of it was covered by the sleeve of his cardigan, but it was close enough to my line of sight that I could make out the faint cuts and marks lining his fingers. Were those burn marks? Oh, I think someone commented in the last video that maybe he burnt off his own fingerprints to be untraceable? Because he's definitely hiding a whole lot. He's a master of disguise. Sure. Let's invite him over. Ha-ha! Actually, you know what? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? I'd feel a bit safer knowing someone else was around. Oh, you actually want me to come over? I mean, yeah. Sure. Definitely. He seemed a bit too eager for this. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peeled the folded note off my computer screen and read it. Angel. Unfolding it read the following. I'll wait for you after work, but if you change your mind about our deal, just keep walking. I'll take the hint. Don't worry. Aw. That stuttering guy from my lead. Cute. True to his word, I caught a glimpse of Ren patiently waiting for me on one of the benches as I pack up for the day and leave the library. From afar, he looked like an oversized puppy waiting for his owner to return from work, and admittedly, I found it rather cute, especially with how his figurative tail started to wag upon my rifle. Oh, it's so cute. That's such an adorable image. Ren seems all too happy to see me, but before I could call out to him, he offers me a bottle of water that I assumed he bought from one of the convenience stores down the street. You worked hard today. Now you can finally rest, huh? He looked down at me again with a glimmer of expectancy in his eyes, so I hesitantly take the bottle of water from his grasp and give him an affirmative nod of my head. Thanks. No problem. Did you want to head off now, or do you want to rest for a bit? I mean, you were standing a lot today. He seems almost lost in his thoughts now, and I wonder how he knew what I'd been doing all day. After all, I figure he would have left after he found that book, but maybe he stayed a bit longer to read it. Oh, no, I'm fine, but do you think we could make a quick detour on the way? I still need to... Uh-oh. Espoir! Heyo. Uh-oh. How's this gonna play out? I could recognize those boisterous voices anywhere. Oh, and who's this? This is Ren. We actually met at work today. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to tell Leon, the human personification of overprotective, that I had just met the man today. What would he think if he found out I was bringing home a complete stranger? He usually rents out my recommended books at the library. Anyways... Leon, Jay, this is Ren. Ren, this is Leon and Jay. Unfortunately, these guys are my friends. It's truly unfortunate to know a handsome bloke such as myself. Leon dramatically clutches the spot above his heart as he leans further into Jay's shoulder. So you're Ren. Are you new here? I'd like to think I know everyone here in the Bay, but it seems you've proven me wrong. Yeah. I recently moved here a couple months ago. Oh, same as Espoir. I'm pretty sure she moved back here 2 months ago, right? Leon looked at me for confirmation, and I meekly nod my head. Strange how I've only been back here for 2 months, and I've yet to find enough time to catch up with all my friends. Oh, 2 months? Goodness. Oh, what a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, is it, Ren? Anyways, talking about moving is boring. You want to come hang with us? I barely noticed the way Ren gets shoved to the side by Jay, intentional or not. Uh-oh. Nor could I make out the scowl on his face as soon as the excitable man leans a little too close into my personal bubble. We were just about to head over to Club Shoreline. Do you want to come? I'm sure Leon wouldn't mind paying for you as well. Oi, I don't mind paying for her, but who said anything about paying for you? I did, just now. Thanks, Leon, you're the best. Just Ren is like, I'm going to kill these two. They're looking at my angel. They have to die. Sorry, guys, I've actually already made plans. And do these plans have anything to do with this lanky fellow? My name is Ren. Aw. Actually, yeah, I promised I'd hang out with him today. Aw, he can come clubbing with us too. The more the merrier. I'd rather not. Sorry, maybe another time. I'm kinda drained from work anyways, so... Hey, no worries, doll. Just make sure you take it easy when you get home, yeah? He shoots me a considerate smile before throwing an arm over Jay's shoulder. And if you need help with anything, just give me a ring, yeah? I'll watch my phone like a hawk tonight. It was nice catching up with you again, doll. And nice meeting you too, Ron. Ren, calm down. Calm down. They're just other living human beings that, speak to me. Don't go yandere on them just yet. As they leave, I notice the way Leon looks Ren up and down, almost as if he's sizing him up. But Jay, like always, ignores the mood and thumps Leon in the back to encourage him to walk faster. Ooh. So, that wasn't awkward at all. I turn to look at Ren, but his eyes seem to be fixated on the two retreating figures. He doesn't seem to snap out of it, so I gently call out his name again. Oh, sorry. Do you wanna head back home now? In the end, we made a quick detour to the local locksmith before heading back to my apartment. So this is my place. You'll have to excuse the mess. I wasn't expecting to have anyone over. Hey, don't worry about it. I know you're not a messy person. I mean, from what I can tell, you don't really seem like the type. Yeah, well, I hope you can still keep that image of me after you see the state of my place. His soft laughter echoes down the hallway and almost drowns out the sound of my neighbor opening her door. Oh, hello again, Espoir. We seem to be bumping into each other a lot today, huh? Oh, who's this? How do I explain to my neighbor that Ren wasn't some guy I had just met at work today? I'm certain she'd chew me out for bringing home a complete stranger, but still, he didn't seem like the type to murder me in my sleep. Maybe murder everybody else. In fact, he seemed more like the type of guy to ask me to return his order because he asked for no pickles or something. Cute. I'm Ren. What's with that face, Ren? Immediately, his large frame blocks my view as he steps in front of my neighbor and me, almost as if he wanted to put as much distance between us as possible. One of his hands shoots out from the inside of his pocket, and he gruffly offers it to Violet for her to shake. Concerned about his abrupt actions, I sidestep him and look up to gauge his expression. It goes from grrr to ha-ha! Totally not having murderous thoughts. I'm a friend of Espoir's. I see. I haven't seen you around before, though. Are you new to the area? Relax, Vi. He's not a serial killer or anything. Really, Ren actually offered to stay at my place for the night, in case that creep decides to come back. Oh, well, I mean, he certainly has the height for it. I get that a lot. But don't worry, she's safe in my hands. Well, all right then. A friend of Espoir's a friend of mine. But I have my eye on you, Mr. Totally Not a Serial Killer. Just remember that I know what you look like now, so don't complain if you see your face plastered all over milk cartons soon enough. Well, alrighty then. Enjoy your night. And no funny business, you two. There will be funny business. There will be shenanigans. Dropping my keys into the bowl, I shrug out of my coat and drape it over one of the chairs near the entrance. Well, make yourself at home. You could sleep on my couch. You could share my bed. Sleep on the couch. Sleep on the couch for now. That's like the most sane thing to do. Why didn't I think of that sooner? But no, I just had to go and embarrass myself by attempting to blow up an air mattress, only to find that it had holes in it because of rats. Yeah, the couch is fine, but I really don't mind sleeping on the floor, honest. No, it's okay. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you. After setting up some blankets and extra pillows from my room, I showed Ren the way to the bathroom in case he needed to go and bid him good night. It was like my feet were on autopilot as I returned to my bedroom. Silently shutting the door, I awkwardly looked around my room as if I was the guest in my own house. It didn't feel awkward per se, but knowing that I had brought home a complete stranger still didn't sit right with me. But still, Ren showed no signs of wanting to murder me in my sleep, and Violet did meet him before he came inside, so maybe this wasn't so much of a bad idea after all. Still kind of a bad idea. I somehow felt safe in his presence, and even though we had just met, I felt like I could trust Ren enough to leave him unattended in my lounge room. With that thought in mind, I slowly slipped underneath the covers of my bedsheets and eventually began to drift off. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Nice. How about we share a bed? Wow, did I really just suggest that? And where did I suddenly get so much confidence from? I was certain that my face was beet red by now, and I could barely spare a glance at Ren to notice that he was sporting a similar demeanor. Sorry, I don't know why No, I don't mind. It's just, is that really okay with you? I don't want to make you uncomfortable by invading your personal space, and I really don't mind sleeping on the floor. No, it's fine. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you. You can just pick whatever side you prefer. You first. Oh, but maybe I should be the one closest to the door, just in case. He really didn't need to be so considerate, but nonetheless, I took my side on the left and slowly slipped underneath the sheets. The bed dips as Ren moves around to get comfortable, and I find myself wondering what he might be looking at right now. Was it my ceiling, the pillow between us, or was he laying on his side and facing the wardrobe? Why was I so concerned in the first place? Sure, I suppose I did find him rather interesting, but that didn't explain why I wanted to look at his face one more time. Call out to him? Ren? His response is almost immediate, and it felt as though he was waiting with bated breath for me to talk. The bed dips under his weight before his crown of pink hair comes into view, and I silently stare back at him in the dark. There seemed to be some unspoken tension between us, and I had to fight the urge to act upon it. What exactly was I feeling, and why did I want to find out? Hastily backtrack. Oh, no, not yet. Actually, never mind. Sorry. You don't have to apologize. If anything, I should be the one apologizing to you. I'm sorry if I'm making you uncomfortable. I can sleep outside if you prefer. No, you're fine. Really. Anyways, we should get some sleep, yeah? I think it's time for some smooches. I think it's time for some fictional stranger smooches. Remember, do not give strangers goodnight kisses. Before I could think, I find myself leaning over and drawing my face closer to his. Ren seems to be on the same wavelength as me, as I feel his warm breath fan against my cheeks, as his own face draws near to close the distance. One of my hands shoots out to rest against his chest, and before I could stop myself, I leaned in the rest of the way. Almost immediately, I was met with a pair of soft lips and the taste of cherry on my mouth. My eyelids flutter shut at the sensation, and I let Ren's overwhelming presence engulf my entire being. The smell of fresh mint, masculine deodorant, and something that was so wholly Ren flooded my senses, and I felt myself becoming intoxicated by it all. It was like two pieces of a puzzle sliding together with how perfectly our lips seemed to meld with each other, and I couldn't pull myself away. One of his hands rises up to cup my cheek, and I find myself keening softly as Ren tilts his head to deepen the kiss. He takes my bottom lip into his own and gently bites down before his tongue joins in, curiously prodding against my lips as if to test the waters. When I finally meet him halfway with my own, he seems to have finally found the reassurance he needed before deepening the kiss even more. His other hand rests on my waist before gently pulling me closer, clearly not wanting any distance between us. So, Ren wanted this as much as I did. I could feel just how eager he was as he kissed me with more desperation and fervor than anything I'd ever experienced in my life. But we could only go on for so long before one of us needed air, and that someone happened to be me. When I pull away, Ren practically whines at the loss of contact, and I watch with slight amusement as his lips unconsciously follow to seek out mine once more before his eyes flutter open. A beat passes, and we just stare at each other, taking in the moment and to process what had just occurred. His hands were still on me, and it was only then that I noticed that he was tracing faint stars on my cheeks with his thumb. Did that really just happen? His voice was soft, so soft that I could barely make out what he was saying. He's staring at me with so much overwhelming adoration in his eyes that I couldn't help but look away. And that was when I saw just how hard that kiss affected him. As if noticing what I was staring at, Ren let out an awkward sound and shifted so that his lower half was obscured by blankets once more. Sorry, you're just really hard to resist. Not that I want to resist you or anything, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want you. Taken aback by his sudden boldness, I had to allow myself a moment to collect my thoughts. Hey, have I told you about my adult Patreon? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I hope I didn't make things awkward. No, not at all. It's just, we don't really know each other that well yet. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. But we could get to know each other in the morning. Maybe over breakfast? Yeah, I'd like that. Oh. Giving him a faint nod, could he even see it in the dark? I awkwardly turn over onto my side and settle back into bed. As Ren does the same, I feel the mattress shift once more, and a heavy silence lingers in the air. Maybe he fell asleep already. Deciding to push my luck and break the silence once more, I whisper to Ren one final time. Good night, Ren. Good night, Espoir. Sweet dreams. The fleeting touch of his hand still lingers on my cheek as I find myself drifting off into a blissful sleep. Oh. Well, that was 14 days with you, a slight update to day 1. This artwork is still gorgeous, this game is still creepy. I love all the glitchiness. I have no idea what's going on, but I will patiently wait to find out. Again, this game is meant for adults. This will have adult content and possibly many violences. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.